I feel like there's media burnout at this point, right? Like, are you guys tired of the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce?
No,
I'm just ramping up. The Super Bowl's coming.
Yeah. We talked about it on the Mouthpiece, and we're so sick and tired of this. We even did. Actually, I asked you about it. I'll ask you guys. What's the over/under for Super Bowl? Let's just get right into it. Over/under Super Bowl. They showed Taylor Swift over or under 10 times.
Oh, it's guaranteed to be over 10 times. Oh. The thing is, I don't watch football, and I don't care about Taylor Swift. Like, I couldn't understand why people were talking about it so much, and then I see people freaking out about the fact that people are talking about it. I don't know what the conspiracy theory could be, other than the fact that this is a celebrity couple.
Well, it's also too, and I'm going to cut you off. It's basically, I feel it's for the election, coming up, right? Because the demographic of girls that are watching Taylor Swift also are influenced by who she's going to vote for, right,
yes,
Rob?
And I don't think that celebrity endorsements are anything new to the political game, right? Like, listen, in my younger days, in my youth, in college, 2008, Barack Obama. The biggest supporter of Barack Obama at the time was a gentleman named Bruce Springsteen. I'm from Jersey. I'm a Springsteen guy. I love Bruce. I listened to everything Bruce said. When Bruce said, go out and vote, I went out and voted. Yeah. I wanted to be part of change. We're going to make America, well, I guess not great again. I don't know. What was Barack Obama's? It was just change.
It was
change.
Hope and change, wasn't
it? Hope and change. I was filled with hope. I was hoping for change. We got it. It was not the hope and change that I think we were hoping for. Mm-hmm. So celebrity endorsements are nothing new, but this is why we're bringing it up. I wanted to get away from Taylor Swift. In fact, I think when we discussed what topics we were going to cover, there was a forbiddance of Taylor Swift because we're tired of it. It's burnt out. It's all we've heard about since September. We're now in January. This has been going on for 4 months, a relationship between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and the media reporting on it. But the reason why we're covering it today is because last night, the notorious credible CNN put out this article. And that title of that article was Right-Wing Media Figures Target Taylor Swift with Absurd Conspiracy Theory Ahead of the Super Bowl.
So then you know it's true.
It comes from CNN.
Hold on.
So you know it's true.
What is the theory that they're going to use this for political purposes? Taylor Swift has generated over $330 million for the NFL. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just money.
Well, that gets into... So the actual conspiracy theory, according to the article, right-wing media figures are spreading an outlandish conspiracy theory about Taylor Swift, claiming she is part of a plot orchestrated by the NFL and the Democratic Party to manipulate the 2024 election.
Bang.
The article goes on to cite right-wing figures, including Vivek Ramaswamy, Jack Posobiec. Is that how I pronounce that last name?
Yeah.
Okay. Donald Trump, former president of the United States, Roseanne Barr, and Laura Loomer. And the idea is that because of Taylor Swift's incredible online following, I believe she has somewhere around
250 million followers.
Instagram
followers. Give or take. Why do I know that?
There's nothing about the Super Bowl knows her Instagram following.
Once upon a time when I used to do those Spartan races, lip syncing to songs, I did one to Taylor Swift, "Shake It Off."
It's a catchy tune.
It's a good song. She's a decent singer. The conspiracy theory then is that they're going to use celebrity endorsements to try to endorse a presidential candidate who got up on stage with Hillary Clinton back in 2016 and performed with her.
Was it Beyonce?
It was someone big and it didn't work out well.
I think it was Whoopi.
This is not a conspiracy theory. This is just election strategy as far as I'm concerned.
Correct. And I think where it delves into the conspiracy theory is that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, like the idea that their whole relationship is manufactured, and it's manufactured in order to promote sales for the NFL, which if you look at the Daily Mail, this is an article that came out, what day is this? 2 days ago, the 29th. Taylor Swift generated a brand value of more than $330 million for the NFL. So the conspiracy theory would be that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are together for a business arrangement, but yet look at the effect that the business arrangement, if it was a business arrangement, had. They say Taylor Swift's connection to Travis Kelce has reportedly led to a staggering brand value of over $330 million for not just the Kansas City Chiefs, but the NFL as well. The valuation encompasses various aspects such as print, digital, radio, television, highlights, and social media monitoring. But we've discussed this, right? Like the 400% increase in Travis Kelce jersey sales, the record amounts of TV viewing by Swifties, girls between the ages of 18 and 24. Sunday Night Football, the viewership went up 24%. 1%. The Kansas City Chiefs versus New York Jets game drew 27 million viewers, making it the most watched Sunday TV show since the last Super Bowl.
Right.
And in fact, the most recent game, I think that's the next article, the most recent game
Was the Bills and Chiefs,
which became the
or
highest,
the Ravens and Chiefs,
the highest viewed NFL divisional playoff
Bills,
game ever between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Averaged 50.4 million total viewers.
Yeah.
Did that guy shave his chest so that it looks like a bat, or does that have something to do with the game?
That's his brother.
That's Travis Kelce's brother. But here's the thing, too, that's funny about this is when this all came about, when Taylor Swift came on the scene, I know this because I'm a diehard Chicago Bears fan. We're watching the Bears game, and then out of nowhere, you see a commercial where Travis Kelce where he explains you can do two things at once. You get a flu shot and you get a COVID shot. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Yes,
and you're
you
like,
know
that's
the date
weird.
that came out?
It's against the Bears.
The date that came out was September 23rd, which is interesting because on September 21st, Travis Kelce invites Taylor Swift to a game.
Right.
That commercial comes out on the 23rd. Just strange coincidence of timing.
Right.
And then on the 24th, the day after that commercial comes out, Taylor Swift shows up to a Kansas City Chiefs game and sits with Travis Kelce's mom. So again,
Correct.
the 21st, September 21st, Travis Kelce invites Taylor Swift to a game. 2 days later, Travis Kelce, the 23rd, is on a Pfizer commercial. The day after the Pfizer commercial comes out, then Taylor Swift is seen at a game with
And
Travis
it's
Kelce's
mobilizing
mom.
all these women to watch football. And then the fashion, football fashion. Girls are wearing like NFL fashion. There's the wife of one of the football players on San Francisco 49ers. She developed these puffy jackets.
I saw that.
And every girl
She's
has
so
to
hot,
get
by the way.
one now.
Jesus.
She's a very beautiful woman.
Gorgeous.
But the thing is, there's millions of dollars on the line. If you follow the money, there could be something. Is this an arranged dating marriage?
And we already knew Taylor Swift was really good for business. I mean, the what was her big tour? The Eras tour generated upwards of $1 billion in international transactions. It stimulated economies. Whole towns built up infrastructure to house her so they could, get people in for the tour. My wife almost dropped like $400 for floor seats at one of her shows.
Oh, that would have been a good steal.
Yeah,
You told her no?
Fortunately, I talked her out of it.
You could have flipped it. You could have got $5,000 a ticket for
Her
that.
shirt
sure we
that
could have.
says Kelce or Travis Kelce's jersey, and then it says Karma because it's one of her hit songs, I guess. Can't stay on the internet fast enough. It sells out every time there's new shirts.
I'm gonna say it again. Like, I don't understand what the conspiracy theory is here. That people get into marriages that are for mutually beneficial public
Correct.
impression arrangements, as if that's new.
It's all clout.
That she's been good for NFL. That's obvious. She's a good marketing tool. All right. So they have a sham of a marriage for business purposes. Even if that's true, wouldn't be the first or the last time it's going to happen in the world of Hollywood and celebrities. But the conspiracy theory is CNN trying to demonize right-wingers for purporting to spread a conspiracy theory, which is just basic business strategy.
The problem is that the right started talking about it, and that's why we're now fully in the territory of it's not happening, and it's good that it is.
And it's a conspiracy theory. Or right? Can we say that? We can't say
Well, yeah, we're
conspiracy.
quoting CNN. It's a conspiracy
But that's
theory.
what they said. But I mean, everything doesn't add up. But what does add up is the election that's coming up in 2024, and she's a monster influence for the Joe Biden campaign.
Yes, and this came out from, I guess you would have to, if they're reporting on this, and this is a poll from this news organization, then I think you would have to call the news organization right-wing if they're into this conspiracy theory. I've never considered Newsweek to be a right-wing news outlet. Have you guys? I mean,
No.
Connor, you write articles.
No, they generally skew center, sometimes left,
So
like
it's
every other big media outlet.
odd that this is a right-wing conspiracy theory, but then this poll comes from Newsweek, which reveals that Taylor Swift's endorsement could sway the votes of a significant portion of Americans, with 18% saying they are more likely to support a candidate that is endorsed by Taylor Swift. This influence is particularly pronounced among voters under the age of 35, with an addition of 41 million Gen Z voters in this upcoming election. 17% of respondents stated that they would be less likely to vote for a candidate backed by Swift, and 55% of those polled claimed to be neutral and not swayed by either endorsement. This isn't the first time that Taylor Swift has been brought up when it comes to elections. If you can go to the next article,
2016.
this is according to the European Commission. The EU Vice President Margaritas Schinas has a solution to boost voter turnout for this year's European election. She says no one can mobilize youth better than young people. It's young people who can mobilize young people to participate more than commissioners. I very much hope that someone from Taylor Swift's media team follows this press conference and relays our request to her. So it's not just Americans who are going, oh, well, Taylor Swift. It's not just right-wing conspiracy theorists who are thinking that Taylor Swift could influence an election. The EU is also thinking it. And back in September, on September 19th, Taylor Swift posted on Instagram for National Voter Registration Day. Her post encouraging her fans to vote helped the nonprofit group Vote.org register over 35,000 new voters, marking a nearly 25% increase from the previous year. There was a 115% increase in 18-year-olds registering to vote in just one day due to Taylor Swift's post. And finally, this came out from the Washington Examiner. This was on the 29th. The President Joe Biden aims to rejuvenate his campaign. His campaign is eyeing an endorsement from Taylor Swift, one of the biggest media stars in the world, hoping to capitalize on her influence and massive fan base. Concerns exist among Biden's campaign and specifically among Democratic allies and lawmakers about Biden's ability or inability to appeal to a key voter demographic, which includes young, Black, and Latino voters. So again, is this a right-wing conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
Joe Biden just cannot wait to sniff her hair. I'll tell you what.
Oh, for sure.
It looks like it smells nice.
She's
to be
way
fair.
too old for him, though. She's in her
Yeah,
30s.
just thinking the same thing.
That's way too old for
that
Biden.
article on the polls are rubbish, and polls are done to manufacture public impression, not represented. So set that poll aside. Yeah, fine. Whatever the impact she had on registration, that's not that much given her following. So good. It sounds like a big number, 35,000. She got 200 million people, and that's what it translates into in terms of registration and not actual voting. It's insignificant. And so fine, they'll use celebrities this time like they did with Hillary Clinton. It didn't work out last time. Alex Jones, I think, had the best take on Twitter, where he says what they're doing and what people are allowing to happen is substituting old, decrepit Dementia Joe out with young Taylor. I was going to say Britney Swift. Taylor Swift. That's the game that's being played right now. And I do think she deserves less attention. Let it go. And don't look like the big bad rights are picking on.
I can tell you this. I don't think everyone should be voting. And just because 18-year-olds can vote, what do they know about the issues? What can they tell us? If we do man on the streets with them, we see they don't know anything about Ukraine. They don't know anything about fiscal policy. Just because you're allowed, you're 18, you're excited, and they're just going to go with wherever Taylor Swift tells them. Now, has anyone here ever pissed off the Swifties?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It used to be the Beyonce Beehive was the thing, and these young 14 to 19, 20-year-old girls, they become fanatical about something, and Taylor Swift did a podcast where she's like, for centuries, men have had really bad behavior, and now in our emboldened state, men are finally realizing that it's going to stop. And I was just like, this is so annoying. Men have invented things that women love. Men are the reason you're on your iPhone now and planes. You're not doing sewer jobs. You're not doing construction. You're in an air conditioning building thanks to a man who put up the HVAC unit. Sure. And they were pissed. They talk, all their profiles say it's about love and trust and we need to hope. No, once you piss them off, it is attack. And I'm still getting messages from 16-year-olds.
Yeah, well, remember, be kind is like the personal slogan of the most easily irritated people who have ever lived.
Absolutely.
And Taylor Swift really has two core audiences. It's girls who are 14 who want to act like they're 25, and women who are 35 who want to act like they're 14.
That's a great point.
And those are the only two groups that are really obsessed with Taylor Swift. And so when you see the Swifties, are you getting yelled at by teenagers? Or by grown women who act like teenagers.
Well, one thing about Taylor, she is not a 16-year-old. In our mind, we think of her as like, oh, she's 19, she's 20. She's like 34 going on 35. And as soon as she has a new boyfriend, she's dressing like the boyfriend's buddy's girlfriend, and they're palling out. And it's very weird behavior for a woman that should have her own thing going on.
Well, and this is a weird conversation that I had with my friend. We're both 37. I was born a week before him. So, I have a family. I have a long-term relationship with a woman. I've been in long-term relationships my entire adult life, so I don't know what the dating game is. And we talked about this during last week's episode about dating and using dating apps. And one of the things he and I talked about was, well, when you're 37 and you're a single guy, who can you really start to date? Right? Because if you're 37...
I'll tell you.
That's great.
I'm on the dating apps myself, and it sucks.
Well, and that's the thing. I feel this is probably going to come off very sexist, and it's not intended to, but I feel like there's a difference between men in their mid-30s who are single and women who are in their mid-30s and single. I look at guys in their mid-30s that are single and I go, he's playing the field, keeping his options open. I look at a woman in her mid-30s and I go, is there something wrong there that she doesn't have a family or a relationship?
Cats?
Yes. Or is she divorced? That probably comes off very sexist, but that's just my opinion. I don't know if anybody else's.
Kelly.
That's the whole
Kelly's
premise
giving you
of
the
the
evil eye.
Saucecast.
It is. Yeah, Kelly, you're different. You put work ahead of personal. But I think that assumption comes to most women. If you see a woman in her mid-30s, she doesn't have a family, doesn't have kids, then what? Is there something wrong with her? Is she single by choice? Did she choose to be in a work instead of a relationship?
It's not sexist in that a 35-year-old woman really has a very, very narrow window to actually have children afterwards, whereas a 35-year-old guy can pull a Robert De Niro and pop one out pop one in at 70.
Pop one in and
or
out.
Al Pacino.
The biggest conspiracy about all of this is Kelsey pushing the jab with Pfizer. That money marriage, satanic relationship, drives me nuts.
$20 million he was paid for that or something.
I want to know if he's actually taken it, and there shouldn't be pharma advertising anymore, period, but that's a discussion for another day.
I will say this. If Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce get engaged, there will be a tidal wave of
think they are
women
engaged.
suddenly
They are
looking for
engaged.
committed relationships.
Yes.
And if they get married and she gets pregnant, that will reverse the declining birth rate in the United States, and there will be a baby boom bigger than the one after World War II.
I wonder how many girls, or
Not if you
I
get
guess
the
how many
jab.
couples would have kids if Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have kids. I wonder how many other people mimic that action and name them
look at how
after
many-
them. I bet
Yeah.
the increase in names of
100%.
Taylor
Yeah.
skyrocket.
Look at how many
Travis.
people would vote for whoever Taylor Swift said to vote for. You don't think at least half of those people would follow, her advice on getting married and having a kid? Mm-hmm. So,
She'll
maybe
move,
it's
she'll
not
move
over.
the needle.
Yeah, maybe Taylor can save us.
If she'll go
If she
from
just commits.
shake it off to squeeze it out, am I right?